Hello everyone, Bridget Casey with Bridget Casey Designs, and I'm so honored to be here on the Altenew Mixed Media blog to share a project with you. Here's a sneak peek at the project that we are going to be working on today. We are going to be using the beautiful Altenew Birch Impressionism. We're going to be using rock collection, which includes limestone, silverstone, industrial diamond, and pure graphite, and 2 wood blanks. We'll also be using some Altenew Obsidian Pigment ink. We're going to get started with the top tree of the set. So if you have this set at home, there are 2 trees. We're using the top one for the first blank and the second one for the second blank. Hopefully that makes sense. We're going to get started, and I tilted this over, and for the first stamping I aligned the bottom of my tree with the bottom of my blank, which made a lot of sense. I don't follow that though. So it was really light and I got nervous, so I went ahead and I stamped it again. This is both with the limestone ink. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp a second tree with the limestone ink as well, aligning the top with the top. I figured it would give me just a little variation in my tree, considering there was a smaller piece of wood blank. Now we're going to move on, as you saw, to silverstone ink for the second layer. I'm going to start with the tree on the right first, and I'll get that stamped down. As you can see, I am putting a good deal of pressure on there. I don't want to have to go back and fix it if I mess up with my stamping, so I'm being very careful and cautious. Now we'll stamp that tree that's on the bottom right now, or the left-hand tree. And it just starts coming together gorgeous. Now on the third layer, we're going to use industrial diamond. This is one of my absolute favorite things about Altenew's stamp sets, is the realism in them. Whether it's a tree, it's a flower, it's amazing how this all comes together. It's just stunning. So now we're going to do the bottom tree. And as you can see, I did not line the bottom with the bottom on that tree that's on the left, but it still looks great. And now we're going to do the fourth layer with pure graphite ink. Do that top tree or the right-hand side tree first. Then we'll do the bottom or the left-hand side tree. And that just finishes it off perfectly. It's absolutely stunning. I am so excited about these. So we'll get that stamped. And again, I didn't stamp how it should have been stamped, but it still looks gorgeous. Now we're going to put a sentiment on there, and I decided to use the you and me, and I was going to put it over to the right, and then I realized somehow I magically spaced them perfectly so I could put the you and me on the trees. So I stamped it with Obsidian Pigment ink, and I'm being very careful because I want to get this right the first time, getting it on there, giving good pressure, and it's a crisp, beautiful image, and I'm so super stoked with this. So now that we've done that one, we're going to go ahead. I'm just giving you one last look. Now we'll go ahead. We have our wood blank, and we're going to use the second tree of the stamp set, which is the tree that's on the bottom. We'll go ahead and we'll get that inked up. I'm going to turn that again. I'm basically just centering the hole as best I can, and this time I'm stamping right over it with my tree. I'm going to get that on there, and I did use limestone ink for the first layer. We go a little wonky in the other layers. They're different than the other, as you may have noticed in the picture in the beginning. So I'll get that down. And I should have grabbed silverstone, and I grabbed industrial diamond, and I didn't realize until I lifted my stamp up. So this is layer 2 with industrial diamond. And I'm panicking and thinking, there's got to be a way to fix this. I can fix this. I can fix this. So I'm just stamping and trying to figure out how I'm going to fix this. So as we go along, I'm still stamping. Now we're on layer 3 and we're using pure graphite. But I think this is great as well because it shows you this stamp set really has so many different ways that you can use it. The versatility of this set is just absolutely amazing. And I love that it's so, as I word it, user-friendly. Like I can mess up so many ways to Sunday and it still looks stunning. So we'll get this last layer on there. I'll get that down, give it a good squidge, as my amazing friend Lydia says. I love that word. I think squidge is just the best word. And so to fix it for layer 4, we're going to use Obsidian pigment ink, and we're going to stamp down the layer 4. And I'm being very cautious because I'm very nervous putting the final layer on with Obsidian, but it came out wonderful. I was so happy with how that came out. So now we'll do the bottom tree, or the left-hand sided tree, with the 4th layer with the pigment ink. We'll get that stamped down. And then for this one, we're going to put our sentiment over to the right-hand side. I really liked how that looked on the other one, but it just didn't really fit that one as well. So, but this one, it's absolutely perfect. Now we're gonna look at these real quick, and then we're gonna move them over to my puppy pad, and I'm going to spray on some UV resistant sealant. So it's a matte finish, which I love. I love matte finish. So I've sprayed them. I will spray them a couple more times as I hope to turn these into coasters to use in my space. They remind me of my dad and my husband. So my dad loved birch trees and I love my husband. So these will remind me of both of them, which is wonderful. So here's your last look at the project. I hope this inspires you to look at your stamps in a new way, and I can't wait to see what you guys create. Until next time, happy crafting!